It was supposed to be a quiet return. One birthday, one olive branch. One chance to believe that maybe, just maybe, family could change. I was sitting on the back porch, my nephew warm in my lap, when I heard it. I'll never get how you could give up being a mom for a guy who won't even mow the lawn. My brother said it like it was nothing, like it wasn't a dagger sharpened over years of judgment, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And just like that, the illusion shattered. You see, for the past few years, I had kept my distance from my family, my dad, my brothers, because they never accepted the man I married, James, the love of my life, the man they decided wasn't man enough. He's quiet, gentle, thoughtful. He lives with a chronic illness that doesn't always show on the outside, but shapes everything on the inside. Sometimes he needs to rest. Sometimes we leave weddings early. Sometimes we cancel plans. But always, always, he shows up for me. And yet to them, he's not strong enough, not wealthy enough, not traditional enough, not enough of a man. He was vegan once in college. He can't fix a car. He passed out mowing the lawn once from heat exposure. And he can't give me kids. That, apparently, is the cardinal sin. To them, my husband is less than. And because I love him, because I choose him every day, I became less than too. So I made a choice. I stepped back. I drew a line, and I held it like my life depended on it. Because in some ways it did. But James, he's better than me. He's softer, kinder. He told me he wanted to give them another chance. He believed people could grow, that maybe the silence of our absence had taught them something. So, with cautious hope, we agreed to go to my mom's birthday. Just one afternoon, just a gesture. When we arrived, I could feel the tension under the surface, but also a flicker of warmth. My mom smiled wider than I'd seen in years. My dad nodded without scowling. My brothers joked, not mockingly, but gently. For the first hour, it felt almost normal. I thought, maybe this could work. Maybe we could stitch something back together. James, ever the optimist, offered to help my dad carry drinks in from the garage. I stayed outside, rocking my nephew on my knee, watching the sun fall golden over the yard. That's when my brother sat down beside me. "You look good with a baby on your lap," he said. It wasn't the words. It was the weight behind them. The insinuation. The judgment. The reminder that I wasn't fulfilling the role they expected of me. And then he said it. "I'll never get how you could give up being a mom for a guy who won't even mow the lawn." My heart dropped. My mind flashed back to that day. James lying in the grass, unconscious from the heat. The ambulance, the fear. My hands shaking as I held a wet cloth to his face, praying he'd open his eyes. I mow the lawn now, because it's just grass. And he's my whole life. I looked at my brother and said firmly, "You need to watch it." He rolled his eyes, dismissed me like I was a child throwing a tantrum. And then, loud enough for everyone nearby to hear, he said, "It's not fair that I can't even be myself and say what's on my mind in my own family, just because that pendejo is here." I froze. That word, that venom, that disrespect. I gently set my nephew down on the porch. I walked inside, found James, and quietly said, "It's time to go." He didn't ask why. He didn't argue. He just nodded, took my hand, and followed me to the car. We were halfway down the highway when my mom called. She had just realized we'd left. I told her what happened. Her voice grew sharp, brittle. "Dios mío," she snapped. "You're really this mad over a little comment?" She didn't stop there. She said I was a bad daughter for causing her stress on her birthday. that I had been waiting for one of them to screw up, that I had a problem with letting other people have opinions. And then she said, the part that still echoes, "You need to understand, the family is upset you won't have kids. Any family would be. Any family." I stared out the window, blinking back the burn in my eyes. That's what it comes down to, isn't it? They see James as a broken man. They see me as a broken woman. And together, we're a broken branch on their family tree, something they want to snap off and forget. But what they call broken, I call beautiful. Because James loves me with a quiet strength that doesn't need to prove itself. He listens. He respects. He shows up when it matters. He's the kind of man who brings me tea when I'm tired, rubs my back when I'm anxious, and tells me I'm enough exactly as I am. He doesn't need to mow a lawn to be a man. He just needs to love me. And he does. So yes, I left. Yes, I caused a scene. Yes, I drew a line. But was I wrong? Am I the asshole? Or am I just someone who finally realized that peace doesn't come from keeping the family happy? It comes from protecting the people who love you right. Someone who realized that honesty without kindness is just cruelty wearing a mask. Someone who finally understood that being a good daughter doesn't mean being a silent one. So, am I the asshole? What does it mean to be a family? Is it bloodlines and shared names? Or is it the choice to show up with kindness, even when it's inconvenient, even when you don't understand? This story hits deep because it isn't just about a birthday party. It's about who gets to define love, about the damage toxic expectations can do when they're disguised as tradition, about how many people out there, maybe even you, have had to choose between peace and people who were supposed to love you unconditionally. What would you have done? Would you have stayed to keep the peace or left to protect your partner? Let us know in the comments. This is AITA Stories, where every voice deserves to be heard and every choice tells a story. If you feel this, share it. And if you've ever had to walk away from what hurt just to protect what heals, know this: you are not alone, and you are not the asshole.